This week on The Startup Life.
Was to do a physical therapy clinic.
Gotcha.
And in order for me to do that, I got to have that formal education that is required by it. You know what I mean? I can't just say, I'm going to go out and show people how to recover from injuries just because of the strength of my will. Nah, you got to learn the muscles. You got to go through that process. It's a great day to rise and grind, good people. It's your main man, Mr. Motivation, checking in with you. I'm the owner, operator of Xpress Fitness, and the Startup Life begins.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.
Scholars, are you ready to join the 25 Plus Club? Parents, how does thousands in college savings sound? Brand new in our school, the Owl Academy, we are set to release our very first course, How to Hack the ACT. Students will cover managing test anxiety, math, science reasoning, why eating a good breakfast is so important, and so much more. For more info, go to www.askowlsllc.com/how to hack the ACT. All right, Startup Nation, so I hope you're ready to get some good value today. We got Mr. Motivation himself, Mr. Eric Cook, owner operator of Xpress Fitness. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing well, man. I cannot complain.
Awesome. You ready to take flight with us with our Startup Nation?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Cool, man. So first things first, how did Xpress Fitness get its start?
Well, Xpress Fitness got its start because, I've always had that entrepreneur spirit and I wanted to own my own fitness business. So
Absolutely.
I've always been intrigued with it. So I felt like I needed to do it and jump out there and do it because the brand of fitness that I saw of owning in the Mid-South or just in general, I didn't see it here in this area. So I was like, people need that. People need something different. And that's why one of our mantras is we train different.
Okay.
We don't have that here.
Gotcha.
There's no one that really just teaches the clients and keeps them motivated. That motivation factor is all about results with them, which is cool when it comes to fitness, but you got to find ways to push the envelope to make people stay focused on the goals at hand.
Cool. Now, let me ask you this. Why do you think that motivation piece is not only missing in the Mid-South area, but why do you think that part is important?
Because it's going to affect every other aspect of your life. You can learn a lot through fitness. I mean, there's the struggle that you go through with weightlifting. There's the experience, the high you get when you actually accomplish something like running a fast mile or lifting a heavier weight for the first time.
Cool.
So you can go through those same things in life, especially in business.
Absolutely.
So that motivation factor, we need it daily because you can lose track, you can get depressed, you can get unmotivated, you can get all of that in one whop, and that motivation factor needs to be there.
Okay. All right, so moving right along, what was this your first business idea? Or did you have one before then, or?
Yeah, this has pretty much been my birth child. I've always wanted to be in fitness. Originally, I wanted to do physical therapy and own my own physical therapy clinic.
Oh, okay.
But once I started getting into school and everything, and I fell in love with fitness and helping people change the shape of their muscle and losing weight,
Gotcha.
I was like, okay, I'll just stick with this because I think I'm pretty good at it.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I guess if you're call yourself Mr. Motivation, you kind of have to be, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You gotta be a man of your word.
Fair enough. Who or what inspires you as an entrepreneur and why?
I look up to a lot of people in the industry I know. And then, of course, my mom inspires me, though, because she worked really hard to help me get a lot of the things that I needed once I was going through school. I remember when I needed a car, she was the one that went and helped me get a car. When I had trouble with classes, she was the one that said, hey, you need to pick up the book, study. And that was very motivational for me because, at the time, she didn't have a college degree or nothing like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
She was just, she's in school now. She's actually just got accepted to nursing school.
Oh, nice.
So she's always giving me that drive, that push to get going. But I look up to a lot of people that are in the industry that not necessarily just live in this area.
Okay.
But, some of the bigger names like like a Dr. Ian Smith.
Oh,
Look at people like that.
Yeah.
I love people like that are good stewards of the profession, and they have the information. I'm an information guy.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
It's all about the details with you, huh?
Man, it's all about the details, man.
Gotcha.
Asking my clients, it's like, you always trying to correct somebody. I said, well, you hurt yourself. You'll figure it
Fair
out.
enough. Fair enough. It's almost kind of like, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're it's kind of like those auxiliary muscles.
Yeah.
You got to build those up first before you build on the big stuff, right?
Exactly.
Fair enough.
Yep.
All right, cool. So let me ask you this. What do you wish you knew before you started a business? Have there been a few bumps in the road or?
There have been more than bumps. There have been some pebbles. There have been some roadblocks. Some potholes.
Gotcha.
There's some stuff. And I've only been in business for myself with Xpress Fitness going on 2 years now.
Right.
But the thing that I wish I knew beforehand was how much you have to invest in knowing who your audience is.
Interesting.
You have got to know who you're selling your product to.
Gotcha.
Because if you just believe that everyone needs and wants your products, you are so wrong.
Absolutely.
And that's what's really, been kicking my butt in 2016 because, the first year I jumped out the gate and I was doing well. But this year it's just like, man, who wants this stuff? I got to figure out who wants this stuff because, everybody doesn't want it.
Gotcha.
So
Fair enough.
Figure out who wants your service. You got to figure out who that is.
Gotcha. So trying to overcome that kind of like that sophomore slump, if you will, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, going forward, you have to too, though. I
Right,
believe,
of
because
course.
Over time, especially in customer service, man, the industry changes. You got to keep up with it.
Interesting. Let me ask you this. We've had, like we've worked in corporate America before, right? And so we've had bosses, if you will.
Right.
Can you name a time where you've learned something from a boss, like from a bad boss or something like that?
Oh, yeah, and it sticks out with me every time I think about my business. Anytime I get down on myself, I think about, man, that guy was terrible. But customer service, though.
Gotcha.
I guess because, I'm in customer service and I deal with people on a daily basis, especially through emotion. You have got to learn how to talk to people.
Gotcha.
And treat people the right way consistently.
Gotcha.
You can't just talk to people any kind of way.
Okay.
And the guy that I was under, when I worked at McAllister's Deli, I was a general manager for them for a long time. The regional guy was the biggest jerk this side of the Mississippi.
Was he that bad?
He was bad, man. He would say things, tell people they sucked at their job.
Oh, wow.
And,
No, that's terrible.
I mean? He would throw things and that kind of stuff.
Wait a minute, throw things?
Yeah, I mean, in the kitchen, that's not good.
No.
In the kitchen, it's not very good. You'll see a potato flying. This is some crap. But, learn how to treat people.
Gotcha.
You have got to learn how to treat people the right way.
Wow.
And that goes a long way in business, no matter what you do.
Okay. It sounds like that's a common theme with you, like that customer service piece.
Yeah.
And it sounds like you really implement that in Xpress Fitness here. Do you feel that's something a lot of other fitness experts kind of lack and you try to regard, or you feel like, you kind of are just kind of going with the status quo that they do that as well, or what do you think about that?
I think the successful ones do it well.
Fair enough. Okay.
The successful ones do it well.
Okay. Another reason I ask that is because you don't hear a lot about that aspect in an industry like yours, right? So I guess I was just curious where you were on that spectrum. So what's your biggest failure, Eric? Biggest failure?
Biggest failure.
Don't be shy.
I'm not going to be shy. I mean, when I first, as far as fitness, I was so excited about how things were going with the business and everything. And so I had a good boot camp where I had about 30 people sign up.
Oh,
so
wow.
Off the strength of that boot camp, I just knew I was going to have, I'm going to have like 50. Everyone's just going to sign up again. And man, I think I had 5.
Oh, wow.
And that's not good for business and numbers,
Right.
So I went out and purchased some stuff like extra equipment, and at the time that was not a good idea. So that was a real kick in the butt right there.
Gotcha.
As far as business goes. That was dumb. I didn't market it. I just assumed that people were gonna sign up. And I only think I had 5. I had 5 maybe.
Gotcha.
Easy. And
Well, how did you overcome it?
got back to the drawing board, doing what I
Gotcha.
do best, and which is being creative.
Gotcha.
So I introduced the Buddy Challenge.
Oh,
and
okay.
that, the people that were in that particular camp went out and got someone, and they started checking on other people. So the whole, group family type thing, we did that. I'm big on the whole family atmosphere here at Xpress
Gotcha.
Fitness. Most of the people that come here know each other's name. I mean, when they don't know each other, I introduce them when they come to the door. Hey, this is so-and-so. Hey, this is Jane. This is John. Nice to meet you.
And I guess that kind of morale building kind of plays into a lot of your clientele pumping each other up, encouraging each other, right? So
it does.
Cool.
Big time.
Cool.
Because in this stuff right here, man, when you hear the word burpee, I don't know so many people that are encouraged to do that.
Gotcha.
Except for me.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, let me ask you this: how do you advertise? Do you use social media or anything, or any other marketing trends? Or tips that you use?
The biggest thing that's helped me out is through word of mouth, and then of course social media.
Gotcha.
But word of mouth has been the best. I've recently started doing more email marketing.
Okay.
So I have a list that I'm trying to build on my website, and that's helped out some.
Gotcha. What's that website?
GetXpressFit.com.
Okay. Cool.
GetXpressFit.com. People like to put the E in there. You take the E off.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
But I love to do more word of mouth stuff. It works best with fitness.
Okay, cool. Do you? I know a lot of other people in fitness. They use like those before and after pictures. Do you use those at all, or is not really your thing? Or
I use before and after pictures, but the thing that I think works best for me is when I can get people to describe how they feel about their results more than anything.
Interesting.
Because, man, everybody's getting so techy, man. Anybody can Photoshop a picture.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And there's a lot of them out there, man.
Fair enough.
Putting butt more. Like you can add a little butt here. You can add a small arm here, and we are in the Photoshop industry, man.
Fair
It's
enough.
crazy. People are getting creative with
Fair
it to
enough.
sell programs.
Getting Photoshop fit.
They're getting Photoshop fit.
Gotcha.
For real.
So, entrepreneurs consider themselves lifelong learners, right? And they always are talking about professional development. What does that mean to you, and what are you learning right now?
I got a big stack of books on the nightstand right
Oh,
now that
okay.
I'm trying to get to. I just actually finished one. I finished Who Moved My Cheese. It's an awesome book.
Okay.
It's like 80, 90 pages, but there's so many nuggets in it, though.
Gotcha.
But right now, I'm working on myself more than anything.
Okay.
So I'm picking up books that are big on personal development, because I'm big on personal development.
Gotcha.
And that's one of the things that people want to do when they come into the gym anyway. They want to work on themselves.
Absolutely.
So if you can take the focus off of the result and put it more on yourself, like, how do I feel about myself? How am I going to treat other people? Then the result comes a little bit easier, I think.
Gotcha.
You keep
Okay.
your focus on it.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to do right now, is work on me.
Now, let me ask you this one, and I've asked this one in the past, and it's gotten a bit, let's say, testy, if you will, right? So some say entrepreneurs need some type of formal education, and some say all you need is an idea and work ethic. Where do you stand on that spectrum?
I think you need both, but it depends on the industry.
Okay.
Because, like I said, my original passion was to do a physical therapy clinic.
Gotcha.
And in order for me to do that, I got to have that formal education that's required by it. You know what I mean? I can't just say, I'm gonna go out and show people how to how to recover from injuries just
Gotcha.
because of the strength of my will. Nah, you got to learn the muscles. You got to go
Right.
through that process. But if I were to open up a clinic, I would still need the ideas and the work ethic behind it in order to make that happen.
Gotcha.
So I really think it depends on what you're trying to do.
And Eric, we're going to go through one last question before we go to break.
Okay.
What's your average day look like? And be specific as possible.
My average day is nonstop, super busy. I thought I would have more time as an entrepreneur, but honestly, I'm like so busy that I forget. I forget to do things sometimes, so I'll make a list. But I wake up early in the morning. I'm usually at the studio here training about 5 a.m.
Oh, wow.
I train clients, and then I've been doing some group fitness stuff for Shelby County Schools. So I go to Shelby County Schools.
Cool.
I go to, I have 3 that I attend.
Okay.
Got about 2 sessions per week at each one. I do that, and then I teach a class at FedEx. I was a former employee there doing, training and everything like that. So I still go there, teach a class twice a week there. But for the most part, I'm training, eating, reading, training, eating, sleep.
Gotcha.
So it's real. I'm trying to learn how to be productive instead of busy.
Fair enough. There's a big difference, right?
Yeah, it's pretty. I'm usually super busy from sun up to sundown.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay. Well, how you liking being on the show so far?
it's great, man. I'm loving the experience.
Okay, cool, man. I appreciate it. So we're going to take a quick break, and you're listening to The Startup Life. If you are a teacher looking for great resources, look no further than Owl's e-commerce store on Teachers Pay Teachers. Store name, Teaching with Owls. Enjoy great lessons based on stories from great authors such as Kate Chopin's Story of an Hour and Edgar Allan Poe's The Mask of the Red Death. And don't worry, teachers, all lessons are Common Core aligned. All right, so we're back with Mr. Motivation, Eric Cook, owner-operator of Xpress Fitness, man. So let's go ahead and continue. So what was the best piece of advice you've ever gotten, and what's the worst piece of advice you've ever gotten? And it can be about entrepreneurship, life, whatever the case may be.
I guess because so much stuff that I talk about now, I talk to people, it's all about business and entrepreneurship. Mm-hmm. It probably would be that the best piece of advice I've gotten as of late that's really stuck with me is getting a handle on your finances.
Okay.
Especially as it pertains to your business. You got to learn how to separate those and
absolutely.
How can you pay yourself and let the business thrive and all that stuff. Gotcha. And that was one of the things. I'm more of the spender in the family. Like, I mean, I'm good about money. You know, I'll save and I'll pay my bills, first, but as far as like making sure that all the ducks and I's and
I got you. No, fair enough.
I'm not the nerd with the money. My wife is the one that's the guru with the money.
Gotcha.
I'm learning though. I've gotten a sharp wrap across the head.
Gotcha.
The dumbest bit of advice that I've gotten from someone, and it's like when the guy told me, I was like, man, you can't be serious. Why would you do that? He told me, and this is from a trainer. He said, if you don't want someone as a client, you tell them that your price is higher so that you don't have to sell.
Wow.
Them. And my thing was like, well, why would you don't get no clients?
Right.
You would be in trouble. What you mean? So you got to be happy that somebody's interested in you training with you. So why would you say that? I mean, that's
right.
And I almost went with it a couple times. I mean, there's some people that make you not want to train them, but at the end of the day, you're in a service business, so
right, absolutely,
you can't do that.
And I would imagine that in a industry that's predicated on word of mouth, that can be kind of bad. Like because the person you don't want to train raise the price and like, well, don't go over there because they got high prices, right?
Right.
So, I can definitely understand that one. What do you think is a popular misconception about business? Like when people get into business, they like think, it's going to be rainbows and sunshine all the time, or whatever the case may be. What do you think is the most popular one in your mind? You
start a business and you expect it to blow up.
Gotcha.
You just think that everything is going to be just because you're an expert in your field, perceived expert.
Gotcha.
You think you know a lot about the subject, but you're just going to sell real fast. And that's not the case. There are some seasons in business. Yeah. So there's a couple of them that stick out to me, honestly, besides that one.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's also, I guess, you can get that outside perception. People that see you and say, oh, you own a business, you must got some money now. That's not the case.
Is it mainly family and friends?
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Just because I own a business, it means I don't want to work for somebody.
Right, exactly.
It means I want to work for myself. That's a difference.
That's a good one. That's a real good one.
But I think the biggest one, though, is, the anticipation of how fast you can get the money coming in the door and the
gotcha.
And stuff. It's like it's not as fast as you think it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not like the movies or something.
Fair enough. But you have the video montage and all of a sudden you making it rain, right? Right, exactly. No, I got you.
I'm spending a check.
Well, let me ask you this. You spoke about how businesses have like seasons, right? Is that for you as well in your industry?
Yes.
Like, okay.
Yes, big time.
What would those seasons be, Eric?
So during beginning of the year, January, February, those hot. The New Year's resolution people come to the gym.
Is that what you call it, the New Year's revolution people?
Yeah. Not resolution, revolution.
Revolution, fair enough. Got you.
Oh, no.
Trying to lose 90 pounds in 2 weeks?
Oh, my God. And they give you these unrealistic things they want you to do. I'm like, no, it's not that. It's the Photoshop folks, man.
No.
They want to be Photoshopped.
It's funny how they're the same people.
Same people.
It's funny how that works.
So, you have that. That's your hot season right there. That's pretty much like the summer. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And then as the year goes along, once it gets to November, December, it slows down. I mean, it's slow. So right about this time, that's when the committed people are here, the ones that are going to work out rain, sleet, or snow. They're gonna walk if they have to get to the gym. You know what I mean? Those people are the ones that are very committed. They're still coming around this time.
Okay. Now, how did you get the concept or the idea for Express Fitness?
I think I got it just from my experience working with other people.
Okay.
And I just got an idea of like, that guy does that. I don't want to do that. This gym does that. I really don't want to do that. Mm-hmm. And so I've developed that over time, and then of course my experience too.
Gotcha.
And so for me, like I said again, I'm big on the whole family thing. And then,
Gotcha.
most big box gyms, when you come in there, there's so many people and it's hard for you to know everyone's name. So I try to make sure everybody knows everyone. The whole family atmosphere. I love that about this place. Having no judgment, the whole Planet Fitness thing, the gym intimidation. I try to keep that up out of here. But we gonna slam some weights in here though.
Right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And just over time, I just kind of like looked at other things that were out there. I had to just develop my own thing.
Now, let's say, we want Express Fitness to be big, right? We want to grow the business, right?
We want to grow.
And it sounds like you do a very big job of trying to instill a culture, even when it's small. But like as it grows, you still want to instill that culture. How important for you is that? Because I imagine that's something that you're passionate about.
That's very important to me, and I think that just goes. That comes from my personal growth.
Gotcha.
Because
okay.
Growing up, I was the sarcastic guy, and then with the attitude, my mom like, boy, if you don't change that, you're not gonna get that far if you don't stop talking to people like that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So
I got you.
I guess so over time, that just attests to my growth as a person. Mm-hmm. Like I've grown and I want other people to grow as well.
Absolutely.
And as you grow in yourself, everything else just becomes second nature. It gets better like that. So.
Got you. Now, let me ask you this. Do you have any employees at Express Fitness or is it just you?
It's mainly me. I have
mainly
a couple of trainers that come in and teach a couple of classes for me, but
okay.
It's mainly me. I'm the HR. I'm the custodian.
Gotcha.
I do the windows.
Gotcha. Do the toilets as well,
I do the
right?
toilets.
Gotcha.
I do everything.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. What do you look for when you hire an employee? Like, what kind of... And I know we talked about that family culture, and I assume you would want that in an employee as well, and they understand that culture, right? Mm-hmm. But what are some other things that you look for when you're, looking at a potential employee?
The biggest thing that I look for, and I think a lot of people... when you go through that hiring process, especially when you own a business, you can kind of it's just there, it. Mm-hmm. It's passion. Passion for the industry.
Absolutely.
So one of my trainers, a guy named James Rayford, he's a spin doctor. He does spin classes at a couple of different places, and he teaches boot camp here.
Okay.
His passion for fitness, he's lost well over 100 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So if someone's that passionate and dedicated,
oh, I imagine so.
Then, you want them on your team because that can get contagious. Some people only want to lose 5, 10, 20, but this dude can do 100. And they can see him, what he's done. Mm-hmm. Then that'll just they'll feed off of that.
Absolutely. I can only imagine so.
So it's the passion for the industry is the biggest thing I look for.
Got you.
Because you can know everything, and be
right.
and not be good at it.
That's true. That's very true. Let me ask you this, and we kind of talked about it earlier as far as maybe kind of those clients you don't want to really work with that well. So I guess, have you ever been able to turn down a client? I know you tried the whole raise the price to try to encourage them, but have you just went up just straight up and say, no, we can't do this? Obviously you wouldn't say it like that, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, I have to turn down clients. To this day, it just depends on my schedule.
Fair enough.
If I turn down a client, it's because of my schedule most of the time.
Gotcha.
But usually what I do is I offer them my boot camp package.
Okay.
So for the one-on-one training, if I say, hey, look, my 5 o'clock slot is full, I cannot train at that time. And they'd be like, well, okay, I was looking for this, and I can't do that. And I was like, well, I do have my boot camp, so if you can do the boot camp, that's fine.
Gotcha.
But most of the time, if I turn someone down, it's because of scheduling conflicts. It's not because of them as a person. Because I like to think that I'm a people person.
Gotcha.
I've been engaged in conversation with some of everybody, especially, working in a restaurant. If you can work in food, deal with people, I think you can deal with anybody.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Honestly. So, but yeah, it would just be scheduling conflict, really.
Fair enough. Okay. And speaking of food, you was talking about throwing potatoes and stuff earlier. I assume you're not throwing weights in here, right?
No. Not anyone.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
We throw them around, but not anyone.
Fair enough. If you had one piece of advice to give to someone who's starting out in their path to entrepreneurship, what would that be?
I think the most cliche one that pops up in my head would be the be yourself.
Gotcha.
But my thing would be yourself in real life and on social media. Because people put on the front, man. It's amazing how they're on social media and they're just so, and then in real life they're like, oh my God, you're a jerk.
Right, I got you.
You are the biggest jerk this side of the Mississippi. But just be yourself all the time. And the customers will come, if you're passionate about it, the people will come. It'll come to you.
Interesting.
So
it's kind of like they just gravitate towards it.
They're going to gravitate to you.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of people that I run into that they are not themselves. They're not the same person that they are on social media.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
That's just, a couple of years ago we wouldn't have to say that. But, now with social media being so big, I mean, it is what it is. And I've run into a lot of people. I'm just like, you are not the same person that I thought you were.
Gotcha. your keyboard activist and your... Yeah, I got you. Yeah. No, I got you. Facebook warriors.
Twitter fingers.
Twitter fingers. Gotcha. Fair enough. All right. Eric, who are your mentors? And they can be people that, you follow from afar, people you meet with on a regular basis. Who are your mentors?
Right now, one of my mentors, he's been a huge blessing to me in my business, man. Every time I talk to this guy, he's really like giving me something away from the conversation. Mm-hmm. He owns a barber shop right here, and he actually I was like, man, you're my barber now, man.
Gotcha, fair enough.
You cut my hair. I need to go see him anyway. But his name's Jonathan Bunch. He owns Hair Masters Barbershop here in Olive Branch. And I mean, every time I talk to that guy, he gives me some type of nugget. He's the one that's really just told me, like, hey, you need to start reading books, man. You need to start reading books.
Fair enough.
You need to start reading books. The thing about the finance. He told me that. So he's been, very influential.
Gotcha.
And then another person that it might surprise him when he hears this is actually one of my clients.
Oh, okay.
A guy named Craig Johnson. He's a pastor of a church in Sardis, Mississippi.
Gotcha.
Called Joyful Fellowship. Whenever I need a piece of advice, but with that faith behind it, he gives it to me. But it's so simple. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. Fair enough. It's not so complex and mind blowing. It's just like, It's
exactly,
just like one or two words, and just you get it instantly.
And I get it, yeah.
Right.
Like, man, I got a whooping or something. I need that. So, yeah, those two people have been huge for me, though. And then, of course, there's some other people like on social media that are cool. But,
gotcha.
I've been gravitating towards more people that are like, at arm's length, that can really talk to me.
Fair enough.
Give me a word.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Yeah. I believe all entrepreneurs have a superpower, right?
Yeah.
What's yours?
I think, if I had one, you familiar with Marvel characters?
Absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
Cool. I think mine would be the guy that's on that show, not the show, but the villain from Jessica Jones.
Oh, okay.
The guy that has the pheromones.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Dang. I can't remember his name to save my life either.
Yeah, the guy with the pheromones. I believe that, with me, I have this positive energy. And that, when people come in contact with me, it just radiates off of me.
Gotcha.
There's people just, when they see me, they're like, oh, man, Eric, I'm glad you came. You're so positive. They'll call me, text me, hey, can you give me a positive word? I got this interview. I'm like, okay, cool. So,
gotcha.
I'll just talk to them. So I believe it's something like that, just that positive energy. I got that.
Gotcha. No, I
got
that.
Positive pheromones.
No, absolutely. and I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of people think that, that only negative things can be infectious, but also positive things can be infectious as well.
Yeah.
That can be a very powerful asset, not just in business, but in life as well, right? So
very, very
when you're trying to accomplish things. So before we wrap up, is there anything like, any like a boot camp or anything you want to plug that's coming up soon, or you just want to plug the business in general, or just go for it? The platform is completely yours, man.
Okay. So if you do me a favor, everyone, go to www.DeSoto'sBest.com and vote for Xpress Fitness as the best gym in DeSoto County. The nominations are done, and so now we are one of the finalists.
Okay.
And then, of course, vote for me, Eric Cook, as DeSoto's best personal trainer. Oh, my wife, she's on there too. She got Ethan Sweet Treasures.
Oh, go for it, man. It's up there. Go for it.
Ethan Sweet Treasures candles. You need them in Walmart. We need them in Walgreens. We need them in Fred's. We need to get on Shark Tank. Y'all need to go buy those candles. They are excellent. When my wife first started, she used to say, "Hey, look, can you smell these candles?" I'd be like, "No, I can't really smell them." Sometimes I would lie and be like, "Yeah, right. I can smell them, baby." But now her candles are phenomenal. So she's on there too. So go to DeSoto'sBest.com. Awesome. And check both of us out. Find those on us and vote for us every day for the next 2 weeks. And go to the website, subscribe to the newsletter. I give a lot of information. Connect with your boy on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I am Mr. Motivation. It's the panhandle on everything.
Nice. Any final words you want to share with Startup Nation before we wrap up?
Oh, man, y'all, if you got a dream, you got a goal, you got a vision for your business, just keep that purpose in plain sight. Write it down and make sure you continue to work on it, because if it's there in your mind and you keep thinking about it, you can't stop thinking about it, it's always there, you got to go for it, because if you don't, at the end of the day, you're going to feel bad about it. So like Steve Harvey says, you got to jump.
All right, man. Appreciate it, man. Mr. Motivation, Eric Cook, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Thank you for the opportunity, man.
No worries.
Cool.
Here's my final take. Eric Cook is one of those entrepreneurs that understands that culture and service is everything in a business. Also, he understands that everybody has a role to play for the business to be successful, from himself as the owner, his trainers, and his clientele. And he understands that, they all have to work together in order to succeed. And in the fitness game, that's everything. If you want to let us know what you think about the show or like to advertise on our show, let us know in the comment section. Subscribe to our show, as The Startup Life can now be heard on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, and SoundCloud. And also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Owls LLC. For a behind-the-scenes look into what we do at Owls, follow us on Snapchat at Owls LLC. There you will see our creative process and exclusive content. And hey, if you have an idea, be about that life, the startup life.